Hello everyone, welcome back. Hope you're having a wonderful day so far. So in today's video, we're going to be going over some updates on Social Security reform, including raising the full retirement age. We're going to be looking at some polling in regards to what Americans believe we should be raising the full retirement age to, and if they believe that we should even be raising the full retirement age. In addition to that, we're also going to be going over a recent letter by Representative John Larson, where he's calling on Congress to have more funding for Social Security. Now, if you called into the field offices, you know the frustration with a lot of the long wait times. So he's basically calling on that. We're going to be going over his letter as well. Now, before I dive into the main content of today's video, if you wouldn't mind helping me out real quickly by just giving this video a like, that just helps out with the good old YouTube algorithm, and also consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already. Okay, so again, if you've ever tried calling into the Social Security field office or maybe making an appointment, you really know the frustration with the long wait times. This is pretty much anything to do with anything government related, whether it's the DMV or anything like that. You're going to be waiting for an extremely long period of time. I know personally myself, whenever I'm going into the DMV, I try to get there as early as I possibly can because I know the frustration with the long wait times, and just anything government is there's a lot of backlog with it. So just a lot of frustration in general. So recently, Representative John Larson actually sent out a letter calling on more funding to Social Security to hopefully lessen those delays. So in the letter, he wrote, "Despite the strong level of public support for Social Security, inadequate resources and the COVID-19 pandemic have eroded SSA's customer service and led to lengthy delays during a time of rising need. Since 2010, the number of Social Security beneficiaries has increased by more than 21% as the baby boom generation ages. Yet, SSA's administrative funding for basic operations has fallen by approximately 17% after accounting for inflation. As a result, SSA's workforce shrank by approximately 10,500 full-time permanent workers from 2010 to 2022, and in 2022, the agency's staffing reached a 25-year low. In addition, the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted SSA's operations, generating significant new delays in services ranging from replacing lost or stolen Social Security cards to processing new benefit claims." Now, I am interested, so let me know in the comment section below, have you tried recently to contact a Social Security office? Just let me know your experience, how long the wait times have been. Has it gotten better since maybe the COVID pandemic back in 2020, 2021? Has it gotten worse, or has it been just about the same? Now, in the letter, he continues on, "As a result, people seeking to access SSA benefits and services too often encounter significant delays and other challenges. The majority of callers to SSA's 1-800 numbers are unable to reach an agent due to busy signals and long hold times. People scheduling a call or visit with an SSA field office to get help with an application for benefits often wait more than a month until their appointment. Over 1 million people are in a queue awaiting an initial decision on their application for disability benefits, and it will take SSA more than 7 months on average to make a decision, twice as long as in the past. These long waits can be particularly harmful for people of color, low-income applicants, and others who on average are less likely to have savings or other resources to fall back on. Thousands have died each year while waiting for a decision on whether they are eligible for disability benefits, and many more have endured years without income, in the process often exhausting their life savings and even losing their homes." Again, I am definitely interested on this, so if you've recently tried applying for disability benefits or you have any family members or friends who tried doing so, how long was their wait time? I'm definitely interested for them. Was it less than that 7 months that he mentions? More than the 7 months, are right about 7 months. He continues on, "As our nation works to recover from the COVID-19 pandemic, Social Security is one thing the American people should be able to count on." I completely agree. "Yet, without adequate overall funding, waiting times, benefit delays, and service problems will only grow worse, something that none of our constituents want. Social Security is essential to American families. We urge you to support the highest amount possible, no less than President Biden's funding request for SSA in fiscal year 2024, so Americans can receive the benefits they are counting on." Now, in Biden's request, he does want another $15.5 billion in funding, which would certainly be helpful. But again, the biggest problem that we have right now is the fact of the matter that in 2032, just 9 years from today, we are risking Social Security going completely insolvent, which at that point, if you're receiving Social Security benefits in 2032, your benefits are going to be cut by 25%. So just put this in perspective here. If you're receiving $1,000 per month, let's just say for an example, in 2032, and they don't do anything about it, your benefits are going to be cut down to $750. Now, $1,000 per month isn't much, but if it's going to be cut down to $750, you're going to be going from basically paycheck to paycheck and struggling to get by to, oh man, I mean, I can't even imagine a 25% cut all the way down to $750. And for some people, it could be even a bigger cut than that, depending on the amount that they make. Now, because of this, we've seen different proposals on the table, ranging from raising taxes on people who earn above $250,000 per year, where they will once again have to pay the payroll tax. Right now, the cap is at $160,200, or anything above $160,200, you're no longer having to pay payroll taxes into the Social Security Trust Fund. Now, as far as some other proposals go, some Republicans say that we should be raising the full retirement age up to 70. And actually, in one proposal right now, it's not yet a bill. I believe this one actually stands the biggest chance of passing, simply because it is a group made up of lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, so we have Democrats and Republicans working together. So anything bipartisan simply is going to stand the biggest chance of passing. Since it's people on both sides of the aisle, they should be able to get support of people from both sides of the aisle. So therefore, I believe it does have the strongest chance of passing. This group is made up of Republican Bill Cassidy, and then we have Independent Senator Angus King, who he caucuses with the Democrats, and then we have some other Republicans and Democrats on both sides of the aisle sort of working with this group. So in their proposal, they do have a sovereign wealth fund where they're going to basically be investing in different stocks and things like that. But in addition to that, they're also strongly considering raising the full retirement age up to 70. I do believe that this would be gradual, but in doing so, obviously this would be very, very much deeply unpopular. So if we take a look at a recent poll that I created on my YouTube community page, I asked, do you believe we should raise the full retirement age to 70 in order to keep the Social Security Trust Fund from going insolvent? Now, out of all the votes, the overwhelming majority of you, 79% said no, 13% said that we should, and the remaining 8% said that they are not sure. So it's apparent from those numbers, at least from my YouTube poll, that raising the full retirement age all the way up to 73 more years would be very much deeply unpopular. However, perhaps a number that more Americans could get behind might just be 68. So according to a recent poll by the University of Maryland Program for Public Consultation, 75% of Republicans and 76% of Democrats said they favored gradually raising the full retirement age from 67 to 68. This, of course, would only eliminate 14% of the shortfall, so they would need to make other cuts. This could be doing something like reducing benefits for the highest earners, where 78% of Republicans said they would support, and a whopping 86% of Democrats said they could also get behind. The poll also showed that 79% of Republicans and 88% of Democrats supported lifting the cap on payroll taxes for Americans who earn over $400,000 per year. This would eliminate the most amount of the shortfall at 61%, making it a possible option as well. The biggest problem with raising the full retirement age, say up to like 70, for example, is even though a lot of people make the argument that over time life expectancy has been increasing, so therefore you might have to retire later since you're going to live for a longer period of time. Actually, over the last couple of years, the life expectancy in the US and really across the world has dropped. Now, mainly this has been due to COVID, and I also believe like drug overdoses as well. So we're gonna go ahead and look at this data from Harvard Health. It says, with rare exceptions, life expectancy has been on the rise in the US. It was 47 years in 1900, 68 years in 1950, and by 2019, it had risen to nearly 79 years. But it fell to 77 in 2020 and dropped further to just over 76 in 2021. That's the largest decrease over a 2-year span since the 1920s. Yet, life expectancy figures represent averages total from hundreds of thousands of people sorted into specific groups, and some groups fare much better than others. So life expectancy for American Indians and Alaska Native populations fell more than any other ethnic groups at 65.2 years. The latest life expectancy estimates for these groups are similar to that of the US population in 1944. So right now, the full retirement age is 67. This group is only making it at 65.2 years on average. If we raise the full retirement age up to 70, that's going to be 5 years beyond the average life expectancy for American Indians and Alaska Native population. So not really all that fair, I guess, to them if we look at that. Then life expectancy for white Americans is currently at 76.4 years, and that is longer than Black Americans, which is at 70.8 years. So Black Americans right now, if we raise the full retirement age to 70, it would be right at their life expectancy. And then for white Americans, it's only going to be 6 years beyond. So if we raise the full retirement age to 70 and you retire at 70 and you start collecting benefits at 70, you're only going to be receiving those benefits for 6 years. I mean, again, you can take that for how you will. Then for Asian Americans, life expectancy is currently 83.5 years. It's very, very impressive. I think that's mostly due to their health. They eat very well. And it remains the longest among ethnic groups for which data is collected. Hispanic Americans had the next longest life expectancy at 77.7 years. Now, of course, we can get into different reasons why life expectancy is lower among certain groups. One of the biggest causes of death in the United States is heart disease. It could be to do with like obesity and stuff like that, and other factors depending on your health and your lifestyle choices. But obviously, if we're looking at raising the full retirement age all the way up to 70, and we have different groups with life expectancies right at 70 or even below, obviously that's going to be a pretty big problem, and people are not going to be too happy. But I am definitely interested in hearing your thoughts and comments below. Are you for perhaps raising the full retirement age up to 68 as some sort of compromise instead of 70? Let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section below. But that's all the news that I have for today's video. I certainly hope that you enjoyed. If you did, again, I would greatly appreciate if you could give this video a like. Consider subscribing to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you in the next video.